How do you see coming up with a viable solution or counterforce when the rules that we accept are completely rejected by the other side? So it's not just not a level playing field. If my candidate doesn't win, you and I are not threatening blood in the streets. If you come to arrest me, even for something I haven't done, I'll go with the system. I still trust it enough, and I will go quietly down to the police station. There will not be a shootout. Since the other side is playing by a completely different set of rules, how on earth, is the electoral process, dialogue, journalism, guys like you writing books about, understanding this? And again, the book, by the way, is Preparing for War. How is this going to work?
Well, I think that there's a couple things that I have kind of in response to that question. One would be that one of the reasons I wrote the book is I want people to understand the situation we're in, and it's exactly the one you just outlined. Charles Creel, the filmmaker, says that the best place to be in a war is when your opponent doesn't realize you're in a war. And I feel like for 60 years, most of the United States has not realized that there have been a religious right and Christian nationalists waging war on the country. And so we need to know where we are. I think a lot of people do. And then we need to realize that this is not simply about who's the president. And I know you know this way better than anyone else. The religious right and Christian nationalists have been organizing on every level of the United States body politic since the middle 20th century. And I'm talking about every tendon, every muscle, every ligament. So, I'll give you an example. I was in a small town in Central California recently, a farming town, giving a talk, and somebody talked about how a woman in that town who did not have children in the school district became convinced by right-wing media that critical race theory was a big problem. So she ran for school board and she won. And now there is this huge call for getting rid of CRT and book banning in that school district, even though there was never a CRT in the first place, and this woman has no kids there. Why did she win? She won because she ran unopposed. And that happens all over the country. Christian nationalists, the American right, they want to be mayor. They want to be on the school board. They want to be county supervisor. They want to be PTA president. They want to organize, and it doesn't matter where or when the fight is, they want to fight. And so if we don't realize that, if all of the energy is, did Biden win and now I can go back to brunch, or did the Democrats win the Senate and now I can just sort of go back to playing pickleball or whatever, that's a losing strategy, and it does not sort of put into perspective the kind of situation we're in. This is let me just put it this way. If Ron DeSantis becomes president in 2024 and he's there for 8 years, we're going to see our democratic institutions erode like Hungary has under Orban. And so there has to be wide scale kind of recognition that this is a local, a county, a state, and a federal issue. And people have to vote for democracy as a kitchen table issue. Just as people vote for reproductive rights now as a kitchen table issue, and so on and so forth. So, and I just want to make clear, there are glimmers of hope. Look at the 2022 midterms. Were they all good news? No, but they were different than everyone expected when it came to the Republican majority in the House, or the Senate majority in the Democratic Senate majority, or who became governor. Lauren Boebert almost lost. It was 541 votes. The point is it's not without hope. It's just one that demands consistent fight and consistent energy. And we got to realize that the other side has been organizing for 60 years. They have so much money, so much influence, and they know how to pivot to plan B, C, and D when they lose. So they're not going to give up.